Hello everyone, this is the Final Bosman, and on today's episode, it's the 2014 Spooky Halloween Spectertacular! Sasquatch, Godzilla, King Kong, Loch Ness, Goblin, Ghoul, a zombie with no conscience. Question: what do all of these things have in common? Everybody knows. I'm Kyle Bosman. Happy Halloween, everybody. We made it. We made it to Halloween. I do have some spooky stuff planned for this episode, but before we get into that, I got to do a little housekeeping. Big correction. Last week, I think throughout the entire episode, I referred to the Duck Dynasty family as the Robinsons. They are, in fact, the Robertsons. So I am genuinely sorry about that. Fun fact, though, for our younger viewers, the Robinsons is actually the name of a family in a classic Disney film, Meet the Robinsons. It's about a smart little boy and a T-Rex whose head is too big and arms are too small. It's a classic film. You really ought to see it. But enough with that baby stuff. It's Halloween time. Today's episode, submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. I call this story The Tale of the Access to Excess. So I was riding in Michael Damiani's car earlier this week, something I rarely do. We had an appointment in downtown Los Angeles. We had to see some video games. Funny thing about Damiani's car is he has this tattered old Nintendo Power in there, and it's just the cover is missing. But every time I'm in this car, it has probably been like 10 times. I go and I want to look at this magazine. From what I can gather, it's from 2001, just a relic of the past. But this particular time, this particular week, I read an advertisement that I normally just went right past. Something very interesting about this advertisement. It reads, "The 2XS Club for everybody." And then we see some children doing breakdancing, having a conversation. Huh? What kind of club is opened to everybody? Duh, a cool club, idiot. Get real. Be excessive. Yeah, that's right, girl. 2XS is all about free stuff. And we ain't fooling around. So lose yourself in 2XS. So obviously I wanted to be a part of this club. How do I get into this club? Here's what you do. You buy 2 different games. You cut out the UPC, that's the barcode on the back. You put that in an envelope with $5 and send it away, and then you are a member of Club 2XS. Remember, free stuff. It seems, I'm sending you $5. They say shipping and handling, but none of that seems free. But you know what? I want to know what you can get. Gifts include free games, equipment, streetwear, fingerboards, and much more from your favorite brands. To our younger viewers, fingerboards were basically tiny, strangely accurate skateboards for your fingers that non-athletic kids loved. You can imagine how cool it would be to get a free fingerboard from your favorite brand. So how do we get it? What games do we have to buy to get into Club XS? Here they are. Yo, check out the first 2 releases. We got Xena, Warrior Princess for Game Boy Color. That's coming out in August. And we have Rocks for Game Boy Color, coming out a month earlier in July. So to reiterate to everyone, here's how you get into Club 2XS. You buy both of these games. These are the first 2. To get into Club 2XS, you have to have bought these 2 games, cut out the UPC, write a check for $5 and send that to a P.O. box in Phoenix, Arizona to get free stuff. You know me, this drives me crazy. I wanted to know more about 2XS, or like what are the prizes specifically. But I found out in the fine print, there's two ways to find out what those prizes were. One, if you bought one of those games, there'd be like a little poster and you could like look at the poster and see what the free prizes are. Second option is to go to titusgames.com/2xs. A little history about Titus. That company closed in 2005, 4 years after 2xs. That website is gone. It does not exist. Not only that, if you Google 2xs and club, you will get 0 results referring to Club 2xs. And if you somehow work up the guts to Google Titus at 2xs, you get 0 results. This club, whatever it was or potentially is, has ceased to exist on the internet. There is no record of it whatsoever. Why do I bring this up today? Why do I dig this up? Why do we do an episode about it? I'm excited. I think this will never happen again. I think something this dumb, this out of touch, this misleading, almost intentionally misleading, won't happen today. I feel like we've outgrown this. Sure, we have guillotine prize drop. We do have that, but that's not even close to what this is, what Club 2xs is. And I'm happy to put this behind us. I read an article lately, it's an editorial piece, op-ed from the New York Times, big one, right? This was titled, "Can Video Games Survive? The Disheartening Gamergate Campaign." Again, Gamergate, one word, intercapped in this instance. This was written by Chris Solentrop. He said that he's been writing about video games exclusively for 5 years. He used to write about presidential campaigns and prisons. And he decided to leave that behind because he was sure that video games would someday be just as culturally relevant as those other things. But now, because of Gamergate, he's not feeling so sure anymore. His quote, "If this continues, the medium I love could go backward into its roots as a pastime for children. Instead of being a mainstream form of entertainment, it could end up being something like comic books." And he goes on about what that means. Sure, you know what? Yes, you can absolutely feel that way. You've made this decision. Essentially, Solentrop's afraid that 2xs is going to get back in our magazines because of Gamergate. Because of all of this, we're going to recede and we're going to go back into what that was. His final sentence, "And to the notion that a cultured person ought to have an informed opinion on Gone Home or Grand Theft Auto as much as Death of Klinghoffer or Game of Thrones. Gamergate has dealt a grievous, if not mortal, blow." Isn't that spine-tingling? Is your blood not curdling in fear? Imagine a world where you cannot mention Gone Home and the death of Kloppheimer in the same sentence. Picture, if you will, an existence in which you are at a dinner party, and you may bring up Game of Thrones, but you may not bring up Grand Theft Auto. Does that curdle your blood? I ask you to suppose if video games never have something as acclaimed as the graphic novel Mouse, does that not make your butt clench in horror? Look, Gamergate, lots of bad things are coming out of Gamergate, all right? Sexism sucks. Harassment sucks. Games media sucks. I can admit that. I am journalistically worthless. However, if you believe that Gamergate is going to be the reason why video games aren't in textbooks, or if you feel like Gamergate is the reason why you feel like you've wasted 5 years of writing about video games, that is the least scary thing I've ever heard. That is not scary. That's okay. It's Halloween. It's time for scary things. Like Club 2xs. It appears that the only way I'll ever find out what the true story is to find a sealed copy of Xena or Rocks. So, I guess that's where that story ends. Or so you would think. Yesterday, while I was returning to my desk, I found a note splattered with blood. It read, "We know what you've been Googling. Stop it." Hey, Matt, Elise, you know who left this?
What is it?
It's a scary, bloody note.
Nobody's been here. Oh, you know what? It was probably the office witch.
Glennie?
Yeah, you should just go talk to her.
All right. Will you come with me?
Fine.
So what you're saying is Club 2XS was created by a small group of witches who wanted to lure in feeble-minded children so they could eat them?
But did it work? Did you eat the children that sent you the $5?
Well, you know, I killed someone once.
Shut up.
No, really, I did. I killed someone. You remember Liquid Bosman? That guy was around a bunch and then suddenly stopped showing up to work one day?
Yeah, that guy was really cool.
Yeah, I killed him. Turns out he was my twin brother and I killed him.
Oh my god. How?
I snuck some flaming hot Cheetos into his oatmeal, and the guy was deathly allergic to flaming hot Cheetos. So I watched them die right in front of my eyes.
You poisoned him with flaming hot Cheetos? What's even in flaming hot Cheetos?
I don't know, regular Cheeto stuff. But he was definitely deathly allergic to it.
Who told you he was allergic to flaming hot Cheetos?
Someone I trust more than anybody, alright?
How did that make you feel?
Haunted. I probably think about that moment like most of every day. And I feel awesome. Like I finally did something right for once.
Yeah. I'd better get back to work. I have this new scrumbrous trick I'm working on.
What's the scrumbrous trick?
You don't need to know.
Okay, so is it too late to join 2XS Club? And that is the end of that story. And the end of this week's Halloween episode. Thank you for watching. If you're on Twitter, you can find me at Kyle Bosman. I'll be back here next Wednesday. Hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Okay, buddy. You win. I gotta know for sure. Is it true? Was he deathly allergic to flaming hot Cheetos? Oh, God damn it, Chopin!